We'll call the court to order this time. I've got bad spring allergies, which is unusual in mid-February, so I'm probably going to need to take some breaks, and we've got a full house tonight. All right, where is that? Thank you. Yours one as well? Okay, good. All right. My name is Matt Rothy. I'm the municipal judge for Stoughton that covers City of Stoughton, towns of Dunkirk, Pleasant Springs, and Rutland. I'd like to go through some of the rules we follow in the courtroom. These procedures should have been available to you as in the pamphlet as you enter the courtroom. Tonight is plea night. We take 3 pleas. There you have 3 plea options: guilty, no contest, or not guilty. I'll call your case. You come forward. And what happens is if you enter a no guilty plea, I'll review your citation, find you guilty, and impose an appropriate forfeiture. Guilty plea means basically you're admitting guilt. You want it to be over with tonight, and I'll review the police report. And then if there's a factual basis, find you guilty. A plea of no contest is similar to a guilty plea, but a conviction arising from a no contest plea cannot be used against you in a later civil action. Let me give you an example. Say if you're involved in a traffic accident and you're involved in, you receive a citation. If you enter a no contest plea, if the person sues you later, they can't use that no contest plea against you. Basically, no contest plea is if you want to get over with tonight but not admit any liability. The forfeiture ranges from $20 to $1,000, however, almost all within the $50 to $200 range. The state mandates that we had cost year forfeiture. For example, $50 forfeiture will result in a total fine to you of $124. I'll grant you 30 days to pay the fine. If you need additional time, please let me know and we can arrange a payment plan. If you do not pay, I really have limited options to collect. I can suspend your driver's license for a year, intercept your taxes, send it to the state collections. I'd rather not do these things. If you just need more time, just let me know. If you enter a not guilty plea, I'll order that you attend a pretrial conference with the city attorney on March 6th. It's a phone conference. If you and the city attorney can resolve it, then what happens is it comes back to me and approves of a resolution. If you can't resolve it, it comes back to me for a trial. Some of those of you facing traffic offenses should understand that you lose demerit points upon conviction of most such offenses. If you lose 12 or more demerit points in 1 year period, you lose your license to drive. You'll also be fined. I'd like you to be aware of some of your rights before entering a plea. You have a right to ask for a continuance. This means that you can request that your case be set over to another time. Excuse me, either to consult with a lawyer for some other reason. You also have a right to a trial. Please remember your rights when considering your plea. Of course. Those of you charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence are entitled to request a jury trial in the circuit court upon payment of the proper fees. All other case will be handled in this court with the right to appeal my ruling to circuit court. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. First case we'll have is Tabitha Frank. Ms. Frank, do you have your correct address on Main Street in Stoughton?
Ask her to turn the microphone on. Oh, she did it.
Thank you. You've been cited for non-registration of auto. This citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 0 points issued your license. Do you understand what non-registration of auto is?
Yep, and I actually paid it like what if I got the ticket because I didn't know that it was overdue.
Did you update your registration?
I believe so.
Well, you did or you did not, did you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have proof of that?
No.
Okay.
I proved that I paid it.
Okay. Do you want to give that to the bailiff and I'll take a look at it?
Payment for the ticket?
I paid the, yeah, I wanted to pay for the registration. That's what they gave me.
That's the payment for the ticket.
Do you have any other receipts?
That's all they gave me.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue this until, thank you. When's the next court date?
March, Adele, 20 March.
Okay. Going to continue this case to March 20th. If you bring back proof that you registered your car at that time, I will dismiss it. You should have gotten a receipt,
Okay.
a little payment. This just says that you paid the receipt, which I already know.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right, we'll continue to March 20th then.
Thank you.
Thank you. mind, Stone?
Yep.
Just a minute, Mr. Stone.
Oh, no
I'll
worries.
Take a look at something. Okay. Mr. Stone,
Mhm.
let me check your address here. Do I have your correct address on Nygaard Street in Stoughton?
Correct, 429?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. You received a couple of citations. Let me review them one at a time. Your first citation is possession, open intox in a motor vehicle for a driver. This
Mhm.
citation carries a penalty of $187 and 0 demerit points issued to your driver's license.
And I'm gonna
Do you
pay
know,
it.
what's that?
I'm gonna pay that as soon as we're done.
Hey, you don't need to tell me anything. You
Oh,
don't
okay.
need to just, I'll ask you questions, and if you could just answer the questions.
Okay.
The reason why, if you answer questions and all that, you might jeopardize my ability to hear the case.
Oh, okay, I'm
So,
sorry.
Yeah. I just need you to listen for a little bit. Okay. So, for possession of open intox in a motor vehicle driver, you're facing a $100 forfeiture plus cost. That results in forfeiture of $187. Now, there's a forfeiture range on this. The forfeiture range on this is $0 to $100. So you're actually at the maximum amount of forfeiture. You understand that as well?
Yes.
All right. Now, you're facing another citation for operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration, first offense, and operating a motor vehicle while under the influence. Now, that's known as drunk driving.
Yes.
Penalties on this are an $861 forfeiture, 6 points issued your driver's license. If you were found guilty, you have to attend an alcohol and drug assessment class. And your driver's license can be revoked for 6 to 9 months. The alcohol and drug, for the forfeiture, it's $150 to $300 range, but with the added assessment cost of $355 in various costs. So the forfeiture range on this is about $705 to $1,000. You're about in the middle of that range. Do you understand that?
Yes.
In addition, so at 6 points, I told you about alcohol and drug assessment, you have to sign if you're found guilty. And then your blood alcohol you're revoked from 6 to 9 months. Now, that depends on your driving and your blood alcohol content. If you're below 1.5, I offer that's usually 6-month revocation period. If it's between 6 months and 7 months, excuse me, if you're between a 1.5 and a 2, it's 7 months. If you're above a 2, it's 8 months. And if there's any bad driving, I add an additional month. Do you understand that as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, in addition, if you're above a 1.5, 0.15, the state mandates that I order an interlock ignition device be installed in all vehicles registered in your name for a period of 1 year, and also any vehicles you may drive for 1 year. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In other words, you can't sit that out. You can't just wait a year and then say, okay, I'm free. No, you have to, once you get a first product, either an occupational or a regular license, that 1 year period starts. You understand that as well?
Okay, yes.
Okay. In addition, for a drunk driving, so normally what would happen is that you're entitled to have a trial here and appeal, of course, your case to circuit court. And then have a de novo review, which means a case that starts all over again. However, with a drunk driving, within 10 days of this, you must pay a jury, either appeal, in order to get a jury trial in this case, you needed to file a jury fees and move it to the Dane County Circuit Court within 10 days of today. You understand that as
Yes,
well?
I do.
Okay. Thank you. So, in addition to the operating while intoxicated, the elements for that is that you're operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of intoxicant upon premises held to public use or highways upon Wisconsin. You received a second citation for operating a motor vehicle with a prohibited alcohol concentration. In Wisconsin, for first offense, it's 0.08. The penalties for, yes?
No.
Okay. Penalties for this are the same. It's $861 forfeiture, same range of like $700 to $1,000. 6 points issued your driver's license, AODA, 6 to 9 month driver's license certification, and a total forfeiture of, forfeiture points, and if you're above a 1.5, interlock ignition device be installed on vehicles in your name or with vehicles that you drive for a period of 12 months.
Okay.
Now, there's a $50 surcharge for that, and in addition, for a blood draw, if you had a blood draw, I have to surcharge you $62.82, which is the price of the blood draw.
Okay.
You understand that as
Yes.
well?
Yes, I do.
All right. Now, with a PAC and OWI, I've explained those forfeitures, 861, 691, 6 points, etc. I can find you guilty of both, but only find you on one. So in other words, you have to beat both in order to get clear, but I can only find you only get one penalty. You don't get double that.
All right.
You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I've explained the operating intoxicated with a motor vehicle. I've explained PAC and OWI. Do you have any procedural questions for me?
No, I don't.
All right. Now is the time I take your plea. Your three plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
No contest.
You understand with no contest plea, I must find you guilty?
Yes.
All right, let me read the police report. I'm going to find see if I have a factual basis for your plea.
All right.
These reports are long, so it might take me a few minutes to review them.
All right, no worries.
Okay. Okay, I have reviewed the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your no contest plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on a sentence?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
What would you like to say?
That was just a stupid night. That's about it.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to make the findings that your blood alcohol content was a .258. I will make the findings that there was some bad driving, but occurred in your driveway, and it's not public premises held out to public use. So I'm going to give you an 8-month driver's license revocation instead of the maximum 9. I'm going to find that the forfeiture of about $861 is acceptable. 6 points are going to be assigned to your license, and you're going to be required to attend an alcohol and drug assessment class, and I'll give you the paperwork in just a minute. Since I made the finding your blood alcohol content was a .258, that's higher than a 1.5, so the DOT is gonna order that, I'm gonna order that an interlock ignition device be installed in all vehicles you own within, for the next 12 months, and any vehicle you may drive for the next 12 months as well.
Okay.
No. Okay. Now, in reviewing the police report, there was an indication that you had refused and that you received a notice of intent to suspend. However, in reviewing this, there was also, the same report indicates that you had agreed to take the tests and that we had a valid sample. Because of the inconsistency of the reports, I'm gonna find there's a factual basis that you did not refuse this test.
No.
So, because of that, there's gonna be no penalties for any of your refusal. Okay, so we talked about 187. Do you have the paperwork for? Okay. We have the paperwork if you wanna, I'm gonna give this to the bailiff. There's two, let me use a pen too. Sign both of them. There's a number for you to call. All right, this one, okay. Thank you. Oh, your officer, let me sign these and you can give one back to him, along with the other information. Then we give him back this. Keep this. All right. I'm having the bailiff give you a series of information. One of them is an assessment. You have to call within 72 hours of today's date, so make sure that you call and set up any assessment. And then the rest is the paperwork about what to follow, including an occupational license.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're not done yet.
No.
What did you learn?
Well, like I said, this is my first time ever doing it, and that was just a stupid night, and never again.
Okay. Because somebody could get hurt next time. It could be a lot more
I
serious.
was even thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm so lucky I didn't hit anybody else or make any more damage than except for myself. I was just blessed that night and nothing else happened.
Okay. All right. And just be aware the next time it's likely to be a criminal charge.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll find you guilty on the possession of the open intoxicants as well, and I'll give you a $187 forfeiture as well. And we'll give you the paperwork for just that, in just a
No
minute.
worries.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
All right, that will take care of it this evening, and thank you, Mr. Starr.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks.
He wanted to set up a payment plan too, I think he forgot to tell you, but I'll contact him.
Thank you. Olika Parker? Ms. Parker, do I have your correct address on Prairie Street in Stoughton?
Correct.
Okay. You've received 4 citations. One is for operating a motor vehicle after the revocation or suspension of registration. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 0 demerit points issued to your driver's license. That's $30 plus fine. Forfeiture range on this is 0 to 100. So you're not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. The next one is, you have received another one for operating a motor vehicle after registration or suspension of registration. That citation also carries, wait a minute. Yep, that citation also carries a penalty of $90.80 and 0 demerit points issued to your driver's license. Another citation, your third citation is failure to keep vehicle under control. The citation carries a penalty of $136.60 and 4 demerit points issued to your driver's license. That is $60 plus costs. Do you understand what failure to keep vehicle under control is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't need me to read the elements with you?
No.
Okay. That's 346.57 too. Find where that. That's $40 to $300. You're not at the minimum, but you're on the low end scale of that as well. And then your last citation is operating without a valid driver's license. First violation, that citation carries a penalty of $124. And 3 demerit points issued your driver's license. That's $50 plus costs. Forfeiture range on this. It's under 343.05. Is $0 to $100, so you're at the maximum forfeiture range on that. So 3 demerit points issued for one and 4 for the other. It's a total of 7. You can't accumulate more than 1 in a year. Do you understand these citations?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, I can't bargain, I can't dismiss any of them, but there's 4 citations, which are numerous. It might be easiest to just enter a not guilty plea.
I was going to plead no contest
Mhm.
because there was an accident involved with it.
Right.
So I don't want to be liable for
Right.
that.
But if you reach a deal with the prosecutor, what would happen with that, with a not guilty plea?
Yo, you said plead not guilty?
Yes, that way you
Okay.
can meet with the prosecutor just to review all these
Oh,
citations.
and then go over them and then give show that everything's been taken care of and explain it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll plead not guilty.
Okay, so we'll give you the notice in just a minute. It's gonna be a phone call. Make sure that you make that phone call.
Okay.
Because if you don't,
Yeah, it ends up getting,
yeah, exactly. So,
All right.
okay, I'll give you that notice in just a minute. Once you receive that notice, then that will take care of it this evening.
okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's just to finish, I'd find you in default and I'd find you guilty. You already do that, but I
Yeah,
thought I'd make a
makes
record
sense.
of it. Thanks.
And I call him? Okay.
Brenda Johnson? Ms. Johnson, do I have your correct address on County Road B in Stoughton?
Yes.
You received a citation for operating without a valid license because of expiration. That citation carries a penalty of $86.20 and 3 demerit points issued to your driver's license. E620 is a $20 fine plus cost. The forfeiture range on this is probably going to be the minimum. Let me check. 343.038 is, yeah, $0 to $200. Not quite at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. Do you understand what operating a motor vehicle without a valid license because of expiration is?
Yes.
All right. You understand the point, and it's 3 points in that forfeiture. Do you have an updated license?
Yes.
Do you want to show that to the bailiff? Did you update your license?
The very next day.
Okay. Okay, good. I have, our goal is to make sure that people have valid license. You've shown me proof that you did that right away.
Yep.
Therefore, on the court's own motion, we'll dismiss the citation.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you a receipt showing that it's been dismissed, and once you receive that, that will take care of it this evening.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Michael Borquist? Mr. Borquist, I have your correct address on South Street in Stoughton.
Yep.
All right. Received a citation for unsafe backing a vehicle. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 2 demerit points. $98.80 is $30 plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is as follows. It's under $346.87, $20 to $40. So you're right in the middle of a narrow range. You understand that as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this 346.87, there's certain failure to yield classes that if you receive a citation, the state mandates that you take a right-of-way course. And unsafe backing is one of those cases. So if you're found guilty tonight, either through a no contest or guilty plea, you'll get a letter from the Department of Transportation outside of my courtroom or jurisdiction requiring that you attend a class. If you don't attend the class, your license will be suspended. So, were you
Okay.
aware of that?
Yeah, I am now.
Okay, good. So, all right, we talked about, do you understand what unsafe backing vehicle, you don't need me to review the statute? Okay,
No.
ordinance with it. Okay. Reviewed all this. Any procedural questions for the court?
No,
Now's the time I take your plea. Guilty, no contest, or not guilty?
not guilty.
Okay, not guilty plea. We'll schedule the matter for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. It's a phone call. Make sure that you make the phone call. If you don't, I'll find you default, I'll find you guilty.
Yep.
And then what will happen is you'll, as if you didn't appear tonight, so.
Yep.
Bring whatever facts, tell the prosecutor whatever facts or issues which are relevant to the case. If you can resolve it, it comes back to me and I'll approve the resolution. If you can't, it comes back to me for
Yep.
trial. Okay, I'll give you the notice in just a minute then.
Okay.
Great. Once you receive the notice, that will take care of it for this evening.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Caitlin Breyer? Did I say that correctly? Caitlin. But there's no I.
Yeah, that's my mom for you.
Ms. Breyer, I have your correct address on St. John Street in Cottage Grove.
Correct.
You received a citation for speeding on City Highway 11 to 15 over the limit. Citation carries a penalty of $90.80 and 4 demerit points issue your driver's license. That's a $30 fine plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is $30 to $300. In addition to that, there's 3 types of speeding. There's speeding simple, 1 to 10. There's speeding intermediate, 11 to 19, which you're that. And there's speeding 20 plus, which is excessive. So, you understand all the forfeiture ranges and the different levels of speeding?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I do for these is that I've reached an agreement with the city attorney. I automatically give a 10 mile an hour leeway. So instead of speeding 11 to 15 over, I would reduce this to 1 to 10 over. Prosecutor would offer the same. It's just a matter of making it court more efficient. So, so if you enter a no contest or guilty plea, it'd be speeding to 1 to 10 over. It'd be simple speeding, yeah, and there'd be 3 points instead of 4. Forfeiture is the same at $90.80. Do you understand my policy towards speeders?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any procedural questions for the court?
I don't know. I was wondering if I had an opportunity to ask for a reduction of points. I didn't know if you did that. I haven't done this.
It goes from 4 to 3.
Okay.
So, except for the unsafe backing that you just saw, most of the other traffic violations, the minimum for moving violations, 3 points.
Okay.
So I'm reducing this from 4 to 3 points.
Okay.
Okay. It's 11 to 19 to 1 to 10. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Now is the time I take your plea. Would your plea be guilty, no contest, or not guilty to speeding 1 to 10 over?
Guilty.
Okay. You understand with a guilty plea, I must find you guilty?
Mm-hmm.
Let me read the police, and I'll know for the record she's nodding her head. Let me read the police report. I want to make sure the factual basis for your plea. Okay, I read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea. Accept your guilty plea and find you guilty of 1 to 10 over the limit. Minimum forfeiture $98.80. Anything else you'd like to tell the court?
I suppose not.
Okay, I will give I'll grant 60 days to pay the forfeiture. I'll give you the payment receipt for that, and you can just mail in payment then.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, 30. Oh, ma'am, I'm gonna give you the receipt.
I have to change it anyway.
What did I do, Mike?
Usually do 30.
Well, that's what I said.
You said 60.
I said, no, I meant 30. 30 days to pay, is that sufficient?
I was gonna pay.
Oh, yeah, but you can take this downstairs to the dispatch window, pay right away. Thank you.
Can I ask you something? So because for my job, I'm very worried about the points, but what you're telling me is you can't go below 3.
Correct.
Just to confirm. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Joseph Miller? Mr. Miller, do I have your correct address on Sky Ridge Drive in Madison?
Yes, sir.
All right. You received a citation for operating while revoked. That citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points. Do you understand what operating while revoked is?
Yep.
Okay. So the $124 forfeiture is $50 plus cost. Forfeiture range on this is $343.44 is the statute number. $50 to $200, so you're actually at the minimum of a narrow range. You understand that as well?
Yes, sir.
Any procedural questions for me?
No, sir.
Now's the time we take your plea. Guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
No contest.
You understand with no contest, be able to find you guilty?
Yes, sir.
Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have factual basis for your plea. Okay, I reviewed the police report. They do find a factual basis for your plea, except your no contest plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I sign a sentence?
Yeah, I was literally, I had gotten the interlock device that morning. I was on my way to get my occupational license. Police did a good job, I guess, that day. My office is in industrial park.
You can move the microphone up a little bit.
So I was going to get the SR22 insurance card so I could go back to the DMV, because I had already gotten the interlock on. So literally in the time between getting the IUD on and going back to the DMV, I got pulled over because I didn't have my license. So I couldn't drive yet until I can.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to withdraw your plea. I'm going to enter not guilty plea. I think you should go talk to the prosecutor about that and tell him those circumstances, and then we'll see if we can get this case resolved.
I mean, I got the, like say do with the other guy, I got the license that same day.
The problem is, this is a revoked. This is the ones I was dismissing earlier are registrations.
Sure.
So this is a little bit more different. It's more serious, but the prosecutor's discretion to negotiate, then I don't.
Okay.
So that's what I think I'm gonna. If there aren't any objections from you, okay, we'll go ahead and enter a not guilty plea. I'll give you a pretrial notice, and I'll make sure that you call the prosecutor on that date, because otherwise they'll default you, and then we're right back to where we were. But if you guys can resolve it, then I'll receive the notice, and I'll likely approve the resolution that you guys reach.
Okay.
Okay. So just don't forget the call.
Will not.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Daniel Sweeney. Do I have your correct address on Roby Road in Stoughton?
Yes.
We cite for non-registration of auto. Citation carries a penalty of 0 points, $98.08. Narrow range on this is $30 to $300. You're at the minimum range. You understand what non-registration of auto is?
Yes.
Did you register the vehicle?
Yes.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes.
You want to give that to the bailiff? Now, this is registration. It's not operating while revoked. It's not as serious. And I will find that issued on February 1st. And he got it the next day. So I'll find that you timely registered your vehicle, and the court's own motion will dismiss the citation. I'll give you a copy of that dismissal and just submit it. And once you receive that, that will take care of it then. Thanks. Nicholas Wenicky? Wenicky. So I was right the first time.
You were. Not many people get it right the first time.
Well, in German names, you usually pronounce the second vowel, but isn't there executive? Wasn't there a Mayor Wenicky in Madison or an executive? That's how I knew how it was. Do you have your correct address on Aspen Road in Stoughton?
Yes, sir.
You received citation for non-registration of auto. Citation carries a penalty of 0 points and forfeiture $90.80. $30 plus cost. Forfeiture is $30 to $300. You understand what non-registration of auto is?
Yes, sir.
Did you update your registration?
I did.
Did you have proof of that?
I do. It's on my phone here.
Okay. I won't enter it as, into an exhibit. Okay, you showed me proof. That our goal is to make sure that these cards are registered. Since you met the court's goal, the court's on its own mission will dismiss the citation.
Thank you.
Own motion, dismiss the citation. I'll give you the dismissal receipt in just a minute, and that way, once you receive that, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
Kelsey Bobrowski? Ms. Bobrowski, do I have your correct address on Main Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
All right. You received a citation for automobile following too closely. The citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points issued your driver's license. That's a $50 plus costs. Forfeiture range on an auto following too closely, Section 346.14 is $30 to $300. So you're not the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. You understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand do you understand the elements of automobile following too closely?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I've gone through the points of forfeiture. In addition, the Department of Transportation, and that's not on there, okay. You do not have to take a class with this from the DOT. Okay, any procedural questions for the court?
No.
Okay, now is the time I take your plea. Your 3 plea options are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay, the not guilty plea, we'll schedule this matter for pretrial conference.
Okay.
And we'll give you the notice in just a minute. It's basically a phone call with the prosecutor. Make sure that you make the phone call. Chance to tell your side of the story and why
Yes.
you're not guilty of the citation. And the pre-trial conference will see if you're able to reach a resolution short of trial. If you guys reach
Okay.
a resolution, it will come back to me and I'll likely approve it. Or if you can't resolve it, it comes back to me for a trial.
Okay.
I'll give you the notice of the pre-trial conference in just a minute.
Thank you very
Once
much.
you receive that, will take care of it for this evening.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Thank you. Benjamin Yan. Mr. Yan, do I have your correct address on Schumann Street in Verona?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. You received 2 citations. The first one is speeding on city highway, 20 to 24 over.
Yep.
That citation carries a penalty of $149.20 and 6 demerit points issued to your driver's license. That is a $70 fine plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is $30 to $300, so you're a little higher than most speeders, but you're still on the low end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you understand what speeding on city highway 2024 is?
Yes, sir, I do.
And that's 6 points. Do you have a probationary driver's license?
Yes.
Have you received any moving citations prior to this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your point total's double. So
Mhm.
this point total will double. Now, what I do for the speeding on a city highway is I can reduce that to 11 to 19 over. I give a 10-mile-an-hour leeway. In this case,
Sure.
1, but it still gets the effect of, it's fine, would stay the same at 149.20, but the points would be reduced from 6 to 4. So, might say 4 points would double to 8. When was your previous citation?
Last year around January.
Has it been more than a year?
I don't believe so.
Let me see if I can find it for you. January 13th, 2023, and you were found guilty of February 15th, 2023. I'm receiving 2 citations though for the same date.
Yes, sir, I got pulled over twice in the same day.
Okay. Okay, so with that, how long were you suspended for?
6 months.
Okay. But those both occurred in January. When did you get pulled over on this citation?
January 25th, 2024.
Okay, so you've been more than 1 year both on the conviction date and both on this. So the point totals, if you accept the 4 over, or 4 points, the 4 points will double to 8.
And that wouldn't suspend my license, it would just,
You have to accumulate 12 or more points in a year, and you have not,
Okay.
because you've driven more than a year. Although it's unusual circumstances, but
Yes.
citation should have cleared because it's been more than a year. Can't accumulate more than 12 in a year. Okay, so you should be clear on that. Okay, you understand the plea agreement of 10-mile-an-hour leeway as well?
yes, sir.
All right. Your second citation is possession of THC. This citation carries a penalty of $439. That's $300 plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is 50 to 1,000. So you're on the low end of the scale, but still $439 is a lot of money. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I typically do with THCs is that I give you 90 days to either take an alcohol and drug assessment or drug and other alcohol assessment class. And I've got information for that. If you yeah.
How are those like different? Is it like 2 different classes or it's just
Assessment
one?
was where you go in, like in the interview for 90 minutes and all that. Classes, we even offer online ones. You
Okay.
complete the online class. Within 90 days, what I do is I reduce the forfeiture from $439 to $124, which is the minimum. I just want to make sure that people know more about THC as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand that as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Any questions regarding you understand what THC is, what possession THC?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any procedural questions for me?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Now is the time I take your plea. Your 3 plea options would be guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
Guilty.
Okay. You understand with a guilty plea, I must find you guilty?
Yes, sir.
Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Please silence the cell phones.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I have read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your guilty plea, and find you guilty of both citations. Now, the speeding will be 11 and 19 over, and that will be 4 points issued your driver's license. Anything like to say before I decide on a forfeiture and sentence amount?
No.
Okay, $149.20 I do find to be reasonable. And then for the possession of THC, I will find you, based upon the police report, I'll find you guilty as that. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fine you $439 on that one, but I'm going to stay it for 90 days to allow you to complete a alcohol and drug assessment class, or
So if I complete the class, I will not have to, the forfeiture will go down?
be reduced to $124.
Okay.
But you have to supply us proof. Proof
Okay.
that you completed the
Proof that
class.
I completed the online class?
Correct.
All right.
And then the forfeiture for the speeding is $149.20. I will also give you 90 days to pay for that as well.
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, in the meantime, if you get your driver's license, ends up getting suspended, I don't think it will, but the DOT might do it because you've received too many citations. If that occurs in the next 90 days, you can call the court clerk and just ask for another hearing, just as a status conference. So-
This court or any?
This court, yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No.
Now, while we're waiting, what did you learn?
Not to be speeding and not to be smoking weed.
Okay. So you are 18 now?
Yes, sir.
You said you were playing basketball. Did the
Yeah.
THC affect your basketball play?
No, we did not smoke that day, but we had stuff in the car, and
Okay.
the car had smelled, and it got searched.
Okay. Just imagine playing basketball would be more difficult with that. So,
Yeah,
okay.
no kidding.
All right. With that, that will take care of it this evening then.
Do I have to sign it all, or just, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd Pokrant? Did I say that correctly? Pokrant, okay. Do I have your correct address in Charles Lane, Stoughton?
Yes.
You received a citation for expired registration. Forfeiture carries a penalty of $90.80 and 0 points is $30 plus costs. Forfeiture range is $3,300. You're holding something in your hand. Did you update your registration?
Yes, I did the following day.
Okay. Do you want to give that to the bailiff and I'll take a look at it? Okay, our goal is to register the vehicle. You have done so in the court's own motion. This citation will be dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about the phone.
That's all right. It happens.
I have a
Oh, you have a receipt? Receipt for you. Sorry. I was a little quick with that one, Mary. Kelly Perez. Do I have your correct address on Van Buren Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
Oh. You received 2 citations.
Yes.
All right. So I just thought it was one that threw me off a little bit. Okay. The first citation for speeding on City Highway 20 to 24 over the limit. That citation carries a penalty of $149.20 and 6 points issued your driver's license. Now, that's $70 plus cost. Forfeiture range is $3,300. So it's a little high, but you're still on the low end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. You understand what speeding on City Highway 20 to 24 over is?
Yes, and getting pulled over, like, I'm not speeding anymore because I really don't want to be getting tickets or anything.
I give a 10-mile-an-hour leeway. So what happens with that is instead of 20 to 24, or I would reduce this to 11 to 19 if you enter a guilty or no contest plea.
Okay.
Same forfeiture, but it'd be 4 points instead of 6, so it saves you a couple points.
And I do have a question about that. I totally respect the officer that pulled me over, and he was very nice to me. But I really don't believe I was speeding at the speed that he said.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna enter now a not guilty plea.
Okay.
And talk to the prosecutor about both the operating motor vehicle without insurance citation.
Oh, and for the no insurance, the vehicle was
Hang
insured.
on, I can't hear
sorry.
anymore.
Okay.
I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea. Talk to him about because it's 0 points, $124 forfeiture. It's 0 to 1,000, but you're at $50 plus cost. Talk to the prosecutor about operating motor vehicle without insurance, and then I'll talk to him about the speeding citation as well. So we're gonna enter a not guilty plea. We're just gonna schedule this matter for a pretrial conference, and talk to the prosecutor at that time. Make sure that you call, because if you don't, I'll find you in default and I'll find you guilty. But the pretrial conference will be the chance to say if the car's been, if you have insurance now, that if you have it, prove it, you can send it to him, and you can
Okay.
also talk to him about the speeding citation at that time as
Okay.
well. So, we'll be just a minute, but once we give the notice to you, that will take care of it for this
Okay,
evening.
thank you.
Stephen Andrews. Do I have your correct address on Violet in Madison? Is that Violet Lane? Okay. You received a citation for failure to stop at a stop sign. This citation carries a penalty of 3 points and a forfeiture of $98.80. Now, the forfeiture, that's $30 plus costs. And under 346.46, let me tell you the forfeiture range. It means I can go up to that range, up to that level or down to that level, depending on the severity of your citation. 46.46.1. It's $20 to $40. So you're at the middle of a narrow, very narrow range. You're at $30 plus cost. Forfeiture range is 20 to 40. Now, you understand what failure to stop at a stop sign is?
Yes.
Now, in addition to the forfeiture at 3 points, in addition to that, if you're found guilty of this, the Department of Transportation will send you a class notice indicating that you have to complete a class. If you don't sign up for it or don't complete it, you can get suspended. That class is outside of my jurisdiction. I don't have anything to do with it, but I have to inform you of the consequences of it then. You understand the class?
Yes.
All right. Any procedural questions for me?
No, I just wanted to say that
Hang on, I can't hear any of the facts.
Pardon me?
I can't hear any of the facts because I haven't found you guilty. There are a couple things we could do. You could enter no contest or guilty plea, and I could then listen to your explanation and possibly reduce the penalty. Or you could enter a not guilty plea and talk to the prosecutor about it, and then see if you guys can resolve it. You know, basically, and you can talk to him about the class as well.
So I should probably say not guilty then and get a chance to talk about it?
If you ever have a doubt, that's usually what I suggest.
Right.
Enter not guilty plea, get a matter for pretrial conference. Now, talk to the chance to tell the prosecutor your side of the story. So I can't hear anything. If you tell me the facts, what happens is I prejudged it then, because the prosecutor's not here, and I would have to recuse myself. We'd have to send it to another judge. So, but just bring whatever facts your case or witness might help your case. Have a phone call. If you can resolve it, I'll most likely prove the settlement agreement. If not, then it comes back to me for a trial.
Fine.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll give you the notice in just a minute. Once you receive that, you're free to go.
So there's like a specific slot that I can is ready. All right, cool. Thanks.
Colton Hanson? Mr. Hanson, do I have your correct address on South Street in Stoughton?
Yes.
You received a citation for speeding on a city highway 16 to 19 miles over the limit. This citation carries a penalty of $124 and 4 demerit points issued your driver's license. Do you understand what speeding on a city highway is? Is that yes?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And you understand that 16, 19 over, you understand that's the range that you were cited for?
Yes.
All right. Now, it's $124, that's $50 plus costs. What I typically do for these is, the forfeiture range on this is $30 to $300, so you're at the low end of the scale for this. It's 4 points. I give a 10-mile-an-hour leeway for this. What I do for these is that I would reduce it to 1 to 10 over, which would be 3 points instead of 4. Same forfeiture of $124. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Now, looking at your birthday, do you have a probationary license?
Yes.
Have you received any other moving violations before?
No.
Okay. So this first one would stay the same. If it gets bumped down to 3, it would stay at 3. But for the next year, you should be advised that if you receive any more moving violations, your point total is then double. So say if you get a 3, if you get a 6 point, next time it will double to 12 and you lose your license. You understand that as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Any procedural questions for me?
No.
Okay. Now is the time I take your plea. Your 3 plea options would be guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
No contest.
And that would be to speeding 1 to 10 over. You understand that?
Okay. Yes, I do.
Okay. Let me read the police report. You understand that if you enter a no contest plea, I must find you guilty?
Yes, I do.
And let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Okay. I read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea. Accept your guilty, no contest plea, and find you guilty of speeding 1 to 10 over for 3 points instead of 4. Okay. Anything else you'd like to decide before I decide on a sentence, a fine amount?
Is there a citation in there for not having my registration of insurance?
No.
No. Okay.
That's all I have. If you get another one, then come back to court, and you've already seen what happens when you update your registration.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, I do find the $124 forfeiture to be appropriate. 30 days sufficient to pay that citation.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we'll give you 30 days. Instructions will be on that citation, how you can pay. And once you receive it, they'll take care of it for this evening then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, officer.
Jody Gums? Yes, sir. All right, go on, step forward. Believe me, I understand what you're feeling right now. Although the water helped immensely. You want to lower the microphone, and that way they can hear it a little bit. Some tall people here tonight. Ms. Gums, do I have your correct address on Peterson Avenue in Janesville?
Correct.
Okay. You received a citation for theft of movable property. That citation carries a penalty of $187. Of theft of movable property less than $2,500. Do you understand what theft movable property less than $500 is?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's a $100 forfeiture plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is $50 to $1,000, so you're not at the minimum, but you're on the low end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes, sir.
In addition to this, I can also order restitution. Do you understand what restitution is?
Yes, sir.
So it's the value of the merchandise that was taken. If the store couldn't get it back, allegedly taken. The store couldn't get it back, then the store could make a claim. And if there's a claim in the police report, I could fine you in addition to the $187.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand that as well? Okay. Any procedural questions for me?
No, sir.
Any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Now's the time I take your plea.
No contest,
You
sir.
understand on no contest plea, I must
I
find you
do.
guilty?
Yes, sir.
Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have factual basis for you.
Yes, sir.
Is it allergies for you too? Okay.
I have a lung disease.
That's all right. I don't need it. I was wondering if it was allergies
And
as
I
well.
just keep pneumonia about 4 times a year.
Ew.
Good times.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me come to Wisconsin where it's cold.
Where are you from?
Georgia.
Nice in the summer though.
Yeah. It is. It's beautiful here though.
It's a long police report. It's going to take me a little bit to get through it.
Yes, sir.
Walmart though. Yeah. That's what I mean is- I'm still reading a police report. I'll get to you in a minute, and if you could remove your hat. I have reviewed the police report. I do find you guilty. All right, I have reviewed the police report. I'll accept no contest plea and find you guilty. Now, I'm trying to determine the restitution on this. Anything you like to say before I decide a sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. I do find the $187 forfeiture to be appropriate. Now, here's for restitution. There was an undetermined amount of gift cards ranging between $90 and $110. I'm going to use the middle round for that of $100. According to the victim's statement, there was also some euros in U.S. currency. Okay. According to the victim's statement, there was $100 worth of U.S. dollars and approximately 100 euros. I'm not going to do the conversion, but I'm going to order that restitution be issued in the amount of $300. Okay. To the victim in this case, which was Maura, M-A-U-R-A-O Driscoll. Now, $287 plus $300, that's $587. Do you need time to pay?
I do, sir.
How much time do you need?
I'm actually off work for the next 3 weeks, so as much
Okay.
time as I can possibly have would be great.
Okay, we'll start at, 6 months, and I want $100 paid each month.
Perfect.
Now, what I'll do for that $100, the first $300 is gonna go to the victim for restitution, and then the last amount of $287 will go towards the city of Stoughton for the forfeiture
Yes,
amount.
sir.
So, okay.
Where did you get 287? Because it's 187.
I'm sorry, 187, so I said it, thank you, incorrectly.
Okay.
I had the 200, so it will be $300 worth of restitution, 187, so it'll be 487. So
Okay.
we'll still give you 6 months,
Thank you so much.
but then gives you a little bit of leeway, but then if
Right.
you can accept we accept partial payments, but the first $300 will go towards restitution.
Awesome.
All right, we'll give you that order in just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Anything else that you'd like to address to the court?
No, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
With that, once you receive the restitution amount and the amount of the citations, they'll take care of it for this evening then. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
This is the person in that chart.
you so much.
Okay. Are you Roy Wade? Yes, sir. All right, if you want to step up to the defendant's table. There's a, if you want to have a seat?
They sent a form
Okay.
complete for the income.
Yeah, if you could press the button for the microphone. It lights up like a Sith lightsaber if you got it.
The red lights.
Yeah, there it is, it's on, okay.
Oh,
All right, now you're here for, this is an indigency hearing, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you filled out some paperwork?
Yes, sir.
All right, the bailiff is gonna come grab that and I'll take a look at that.
Thank you.
So you were facing a operating while suspended citation, that would have been around like probably $124, $187, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember which one it was?
I believe it was 124.
Okay, so, and then you filled out what's called an affidavit of poverty, and you currently receive food stamps, and that has not changed since you've been eligible. You're not married, and you're not employed. Okay, so you earn less than $15,000 per year, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And everything on here is true and correct to the best of your ability?
Yes, sir.
Okay. City's not here to object. I will find that you've supplied me with the adequate information. I'm going to declare that you are indigent and that you will, you do not have to pay the forfeiture as indicated. Now, if you ever work again, we'll take a look at it. We're going to keep that affidavit for you, but you're not owing of any forfeiture then.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank
Okay? Anything else for the court?
you. Nope, that'll be
All
it.
right, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm gonna go and disinfect myself. It's like everybody in their places.
But me,
Well,
it's
yours is out.
self-inflicted, yeah.
The rest of them.
Do you remember this last year? I go through this every spring. I've never in mid-February though before. Levi Auberg, default judgment. Laura Bromberg, default judgment. No citations. Elizabeth Bell, default judgments. Reese Bittrick, default judgments. 3 citations. Mercedes Broderick is default judgment. Eric Bucos is a default judgment. Jesus Eduardo Campos Yanez is a bond forfeiture. Stephen Comstock is a bond forfeiture. Dana Das Casil is a bond forfeiture on both citations. Kyle Elliott is a bond forfeiture. Ashley Evans is a default judgment. Kirsten Fang is a default judgment on both citations. Jacob Gilbertson is a default judgment. Kaylin Grunke is a default judgment. Andrea Hagan is a bond forfeiture. Savannah Heisig is a default judgment, excuse me. Hannah Haniadis is a bond forfeiture. Melissa Hocking is a default judgment. Jeffrey Holman is a default judgment. Jessica Holderness is a default judgment. Not guilty plea for that one. Lanye Howell is a default judgment. Anya Jefferson is a default judgment. Javon Johnson is a bond forfeiture. Adam Lawrence is a default judgment. Jaron Lervick is a default judgment. Peomeng Thomas Lohr is a default judgment. David Luzio is a bond forfeiture on both citations. Jose Miguel Navarro Guola is as a default judgment. Averi Ness is a bond forfeiture. Alec Nedrinkas is a bond forfeiture. Caitlin Osman is a default judgment. Danny Perkins is a default judgment on 4 citations, excuse me. Valdivia Reyes is a bond forfeiture. Josiah Richardson is a bond forfeiture. Justin Richter is a bond forfeiture. Rigoberto Rodriguez Rivera, RRR, is a bond forfeiture. Both citations. Jennifer Rowe.
They have that printed.
And this is
There's 2.
Jennifer Rowe. She's basically asking for leniency. She was going 18 over. I'll reduce that to 1 to 10, 3 points, same forfeiture, 30 days to pay. Ole Rudikov is the bond forfeiture. Jeffrey Ryan. Not guilty plea. All right, ready? Joel Antonio Salazar Fernandez is a default judgment. Stacy Schoon is a bond forfeiture. Jefferson Eliuth Sevilla Acuna is a bond forfeiture. Amanda Swenson is a default judgment. Joel Thyssen is a default judgment. Kipatate Kil Kifatahe Tete Toshi, no idea. Bond forfeiture. Darwin Jose Valero is a default or bond forfeiture for both citations. Thomas Warner is a default judgment. Pisces Watson is a default judgment on both citations, 3 citations. Bam, bam. And Alderman De Jesus Zavalda is a default judgment. Anything else? I made it. Thank you for the water. Oh, it comes in waves.
She stops recording as soon as you say court is over.
Court is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.